All right, everybody, we are at World of Concrete 2024 in Las Vegas, and I have the privilege of standing in Progress Group's booth, North America, here in Las Vegas right now. And we're going to do some special interviews here to talk a little bit about who they are and what they do. You've probably seen some of the shows that we did in Brixton, Italy, just a few short months ago. So staying with me, I have Mark. Mark, thanks for joining us. And I also have Daniel. Mark, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do here at the Progress Group for North America.
So I work for Progress Group. I've been in the concrete industry for close to 18 years. I represent the company, which has a very successful track record in Europe and Asia in establishing itself and supporting our customers in the North American market.
Yeah, and how about yourself, Danny?
I'm Daniel. I'm from Italy. I'm with Progress Group since 2 years now, and mainly for the American and the Latin American market. And I'm in charge for the rebar side, so rebar automation,
right.
And yeah.
Yeah, so I think, let's kind of simplify this a little bit, right? Mark, your role in North America is to work with companies to take a look at the carousel plants that the Progress Group has been putting all over the world, right? And the one that we were showcasing in Brixton. Tell us a little bit about, your day-to-day.
Yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of times when you're an established precaster, you don't know where to start. Everybody knows automation is coming. They see trends in the industry, but they don't know how to make that first step. How do I modernize my plant? How do I reduce labor, get higher quality? And this is where we come in that we are a precaster in Europe, and we also make the equipment to automate plants. So we can give you a total precast delivery service with a very extensive multi-decade repertoire of projects and successful projects we've completed.
Right. Now, it's not just the plants, right? You also have the software that helps facilitate all the automation from the front end to the back end of everything you guys do, yes?
Absolutely. So part of that successful automation is digitization. And this is one of the unique companies in the industry that we develop our software in-house from a precaster's perspective to deliver the best results in our plants with this precast delivery software.
Got it. Perfect. Now, Daniel, tell me a little bit about your role, because it's a little bit different than his. You're really focused on, the reinforcements within the plant. So you have a very, narrow focus on what you do within those facilities, right?
That's right. So it's mainly everything where we touch robotics. So the shuttering robots, the mesh production. So
yeah.
It's fully automated mesh production. So we have that overlap for the precast side,
right.
But 50%, which not overlaps, is for the rebar industry itself.
Right. So let's say I'm an existing manufacturer of concrete panels, right? Now I have a very manual process. Your job would be to come in and show me how to automate that process with the reinforcement rods and everything else. Is that correct?
That's right.
And integrate it into my existing system.
That's right.
Got it. So I don't need to do a whole brand new manufacturing facility. I can work with you and the Progress Group, and you guys can tailor make a solution for what I already have.
That's right. So we don't have standard machines. We have everything we do is custom made.
Okay.
So you have a problem. We our engineers are trying to develop the perfect solution for you.
Right.
So, and in the end, instead of having 3 different machines with 3 different employees, 3 different suppliers from the machineries, and then probably also different softwares
right.
that to cover everything, we built everything within one solution.
Okay.
And that's the key what we're doing.
Talk to me a little bit about the value of this, right? We're struggling with workforce. Right. There's liability on job sites because we don't have the trained workforce that we used to have, mm-hmm. right, with the skill. What is the production, levels that you can increase your company to by putting in some automation?
It depends on the special use case, but if we take, for example, something that's pretty common here in the US, yeah. Beams. So we have closed cages, and yeah. how you produce them usually is you have 4 straight bars, you produce the stirrups, and then you have your employees welding or tying the rebars to the bars. We do it differently. We produce a flat mesh, and we bend the mesh all fully automatically. And so instead of having an output of 1 cage every 20 minutes, you
right.
have 1 cage every minute with
sure.
just 1 employee.
Right. So, Mark, precast wall systems, precast building, it's really starting to pick up steam. I'm assuming as your role here in North America, you're seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely. The irony is that the first adopters of these carousel plants in the North American market have actually been people outside the precast industry who wanted to get in. For example, home developers, people who use traditional building methods for homes, as in wood, block, which are very labor intensive, and they just can't scale their business. So they looked at this at large, and they consulted with us, and we as Progress Group brought them a fully realized carousel plant solution from a product design, the precast element design, all the way through to the finished building. And that's really where you can start, seeing the benefits of industrialized construction and precast by giving us a call and allowing us to just take a look at this and bring our experience to bear.
Hold the mic a little closer when we're talking, just so we make sure everybody can hear us, because we're picking up a lot of the ambient noise. So your job basically is, I already have a precast facility, I want a new facility, or I want to upgrade my facility to a fully automated carousel plant like we showcased in Brixton. And that's your job, is to analyze what they have and help them understand the value proposition that you can bring to them.
That's a great question. And yes, we do both.
Yeah.
In many cases, some people want to do what we call a greenfield operation, where they're going to build a whole new plant. But more importantly, there's a lot of individual machines that we can bring to your process that can give you realized, automation gains at a very low investment level. And I'll just, echo what Daniel said. One of the easiest things to automate in the precast industry is in your mesh production. And to give you an example, the type of scale of savings you get, most cut and bend shops, which is what you would call in a precast facility where the steel is being made, is usually 12 to 14, 15, sometimes 20 people working, usually highly skilled, highly paid employees, where you can realize if you just go to a European equivalent, you'd have maybe 2 or 3 people getting the same outputs with these tools in mind.
Right.
So it's not about getting rid of people, it's about organically growing with the people you have.
Yeah. Exactly. So how do you do more with less, right? So how do you use the existing workforce that you already have, that's trained, understands the system, understands the value proposition, and use the automation and the technology that you guys have developed at the Progress Group to actually build on the productivity?
Yeah.
I love it. So we're seeing a big change, even at this show, walking around. We've really only been in the North Hall so far, and there's so many others to see. But, off-site construction, right? Panelized construction, the speed to which you can get to market with a product, right, or a project for the customer increases, tenfold. Are you seeing that your traditional masonry customers that are doing your on-site tilt-up walls or whatever are moving in this direction?
Yes, absolutely. So just to echo what you said there, that there's always going to be some kind of field construction being done, but realistically, the trends in the industry are towards what we call an industrialized construction, where those same quality elements, and in many cases superior quality elements, are being manufactured off-sites and shipped to the job site. Right. To give an example of how fast this can be, one of our customers in Florida who was building single-family homes can erect a fully structurally sound, about 2,000 square foot home in about 2 to 3 hours with 4 people and a crane operator. Right. And that is just unheard of in current home building production rates.
So let's just keep that for a second. So let's talk about that, right? So we're looking at single-family homes, multi-family homes, commercial structures. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It depends on who the customer is and who the customer's clientele is based on the type of builds they do, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I just gave that as an example of a home building, but the commercial industry is full of precast, and the precast industry is really... The tools of digitization and organization in a plant really bring you the most benefits to speed of assembly in the field, which none of the other traditional building methods can keep up with.
Sure. Dan, tell me a little bit about, your growth, right, with just the rebar side of this, because most of the manufacturing that's out there today is the older school, tried and true concrete panel plants, right? Are you seeing an uptick in the use of technology in those manufacturing plants? And are you also finding that your phone's ringing a lot more? You look like you're pretty busy since I got here. Even your customers are here.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
So we see a big change in the market, mostly driven by the labor market. Yep. So a lot of people want to grow, but with the current workforce that I have, it's not possible, and that's where we jump in.
Got it. when I showed up here earlier, there actually was a customer here, and I interviewed him for, just because you always have to talk to the client, right? They're the ones that tell you the truth. And he had nothing but praise to say, which is always great. And we saw that on our travels as well. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you guys want to touch on? I'm not that good. Come on.
No, that's good questions. I would just say that, we've all heard automation, and I just want to just echo that it's often like a difficult process to start, but the change is coming, and what we really specialize on are answering those questions, and we can give you very insightful recommendations in a very short time with a proven track record of these machines. These are custom built, but these are not prototype machines. These are proven in the industry around the world, and we can bring that to the North American market very successfully.
Yeah, when I see what was happening in Brixton, right, at that automation facility, which is your main office, in even the buildings around the manufacturing facility, to include some of the buildings that you're manufacturing, have all been used using the systems that you have. With even the green code technology that you're working on now as well. Mm-hmm. And I think it doesn't make sense to keep doing it the way we've been doing it, And after seeing that facility, I mean, it's state of the art, not just the facility, but the fact that the software comes with it, you have an end-to-end solution that tracks it through the entire process, to me is significant because very few, if any, companies out there have that that I know of. And I do this a lot.
Yeah, it may seem common sense, but something that they do very well in Europe is that just the quality control is automated, that they're taking pictures of the precast elements before the concrete's being placed, which, coming from the cast in place industry is very difficult to do because you're in, difficult field conditions. So you know exactly where the reinforcement is, where the concrete was placed, what batch, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. Well, cool. Listen, both of you, thank you so much for having me. Now, you also have BAMTech in the booth here that you guys are with as well and partnered with and doing business with. Is any of the BAMTech guys? Who wants this? We're going to drag the BAMTech guys in. Vince, I'm going to walk over on this side here with...
My boss chickened out.
Oh, yeah? So does anybody... You can talk with us, right, Miles? Well, let's stand with the machine in the background here so we can see. So talk to me and hold this up to your mouth when you do speak, if you don't mind, about BAMTech and what it is you guys are doing, and also the relationship with the Progress Group.
All right. So the relationship with Progress Group started 20 years ago. So first they produced a straightening line only, and then we had another manufacturer for the BAMTech carpet machine. And maybe 5-6 years ago, we have decided to go with Progress to design a new machine with the straightening line and the BAMTech machine.
Got it. So when you say carpet, we're talking about a carpet made of steel reinforcement rebar.
Exactly.
And that's what the machines are doing. So they show up on a job site rolled. If you're on a tilt-up wall system, you come, it rolls out, and then they can pour the concrete.
Exactly. And what it basically does, it saves you 90% of time, installation time. And it's the most flexible rebar solution, I think, worldwide, because it can process from number 3 bars to number 11, and every carpet, prefabricated carpet, can contain bars from 3 to 11 with different spacing, different length, so you can use it for all kinds of applications.
So whether it's tilt-up walls, slab work, or anything else, it's just the size of the project doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Even in Germany, we have one producer. He uses it often for single-family houses. Right. Because those are very small contractors. They don't have the workforce, so they go for BAMTech. Are willing to pay a higher price for the material, obviously. But they save it on time, and an aging workforce is happy if they have a solution that relieves their back, let's say.
Got it. So your clientele is almost the same as Progress's group, some of their clientele, but really just focused on the rebar mesh side of it.
BAMTech is a special machine produced by Progress, and BAMTech is a solution, an integrated solution from detailing to production to installation. So we are licensing the product, and Progress is the manufacturer of the machine.
Got it. So it's just another partner that brings a full end-to-end solution to the entire process that Progress Group has pulled together.
Exactly.
Yep. And that was your customer that I was interviewing this morning.
Before you interviewed Danny Demarkowski from Foundation Steel. He's operating the world's first BAMTech Dynamic. BAMTech Dynamic is the machine that ties the bars worldwide, and the first in the US, and the machine is already running, and he has the first projects. which is great. And next week I'm in Ohio to see the machine, the first Bentec machine, live in action.
Yeah, he was super excited about it. All right, so listen, everybody, we are at World of Concrete 2024, and we're going to be bringing you all kinds of live walkthroughs here throughout the next couple days. We're going to go for a walk here in just a moment to show you what's happening in this part of the building, just to give you some insight. It is super busy here, so you got to excuse us for anybody in the way. How do people get a hold of you for this system?
They can call me, or they can visit here, booth 9, number
N555,
or visit our website, bentec.com, or follow me on LinkedIn. There are many ways.
There are many ways. So we have the booth number already on display. Vince is over there putting it up and down as we're talking. But yeah, if you are at World of Concrete, you definitely want to swing by the Progress Group's booth. You have to see all the awesome things that they are doing here. And they're heading to another show not too long from now, which is going to be great.
The Precast show, right?
The Precast show. And at the Precast show, there's going to even be more things to see and look at. And the team's going to be there as well. So it's just, you guys are everywhere.
You have to be present.
You have to be present. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk with us. We're going to walk around and showcase what's happening here, and then we'll come back and see you guys this afternoon. I'm going to do some more interviews with these guys because there's a whole lot going on, but I really want to get more of their customers. That's fun. Right. Have a good one. Bye. Vince, let's walk down this way. If you can slowly so we don't make everybody seasick on our walk. Hey, look at this. So this is MCT right here, right, which is the concrete technology for the plant solutions. Now, all of these plants work in conjunction with companies like the Progress Group. So when we come to this show, we're only in one section, so there's going to be a lot of the mixing plants that we're going to be showing you as we're walking through. And we may even have some special guests while we're here. So, Vince, let's just walk through this crowd here and get around. I wanted to show them that, but it's a little bit too crowded at the moment. As you guys can see, there is people everywhere here, which is absolutely amazing. Vince, we're just going to go over here and we're going to take a left down this aisle where the guy with the cowboy hat's coming out. I will tell you, concrete workers they got some muscles, as we like to say. So pretty much what you guys are going to see here and what we're going to end on today are some really big machines. So you think that if you've been to a show and you haven't been to this show, they are moving in machines that are as big as buildings here, which is super interesting to see. And it takes a lot of work to set up. This Raytech over here actually is also a partner with Progress in Europe. They do a lot of their window blind technology because, again, that carousel plant in Europe is all automated. So whether it's the insulated panels that they're putting in, whether it's the green coat technology or they're doing the wiring, they're also doing the blinds and what have you. So let's keep walking down here, Vince. You can see actually the conveyor belts for the mixing in front of us. But in this side, we're just going to give you a little inside glimpse. Now, the fun stuff is there's a lot of competitions at this show. There's a lot of trucks. There's a lot of different technology. There's even AI I was seeing here. We're going to cover all that and show you what we have. But on this side of it, if you're interested in the technology for concrete plants, panelization plants, any technology that has to do with manufacturing and off-site construction, this is the place to go. So we're going to make a left here, Vince, and let's just walk down here, and people are going to start seeing the magnitude of some of these machines that are in here. You know, a lot of this stuff we have is the Z-Mix. You got vibration machines that go in. You see that over here to the right where the yellow is. It's called North Rock. Those are actually where you drop them on site into the foundation, and it's going to vibrate the concrete so it settles and gets all the air pockets out of it. And I know we have a surprise guest up here somewhere, so hopefully we'll run into him, because as we've been setting up for the show today, he's been out really checking out what's been going on and how things are going. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what his take is on it. And you might even see us do some more stuff. Look at the size of these mixing plants on the right. Right, and these are all mobile mixing plants. Vince, we're going to just keep heading straight up here. And we're going to stop, and I think our special guest will be up here, our surprise guest, and see what they have. I mean, the size of these machines. Vince, show that Weber machine right to the left over there. Look at the size of that machine. They have to break that down and bring it here. There is so much cool technology in all of this. It's going to be pretty awesome. So, like you said, you got the Weber machine, you got Stevens right to the left there that you can see. You got a company called Duisa over here that we can see. So let's keep walking up here and oh, I see our special guest. Let's walk around this side, Vince, so we don't run anybody over. Tim Sims is in the house. Oh, hey, let's come over here closer because people are going to walk in front of us if we don't. What's up, brother?
Yes, I love the get-up, man. It's good to see you.
Take that and take that.
And the handshake.
Take that. When did you get in? This morning?
I got in, this morning, right at the beginning of the show. There's a huge lineup. Like, I was surprised how ready everyone was to come in. They were ignoring the coffee. Just zooming in here.
So for those of you that do not know Tim Sims, Tim's an expert in the industry. He's also a very well-known influence in the industry. He has his own podcast, and we may be doing more stuff together in the future too, which I'm super excited to hear about.
It's not just popping up spontaneously.
Yeah. And if you're not following him on LinkedIn, you can be one of his 20,000+ followers on LinkedIn as well. Tim, tell me a little bit about what you're seeing here at the show today.
Well, I was actually marveling at this.
It
looks like something from Star Wars. You know, George Lucas would have loved this and that exhibition. And there's all these huge machines here. And I think what I'm learning, I feel like I shouldn't listen so much to the people that are saying the industry's so far behind and, we're just laggards and all these things, because I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff, great machinery to make things more efficient, a lot of prefabrication. There's a booth over there, Forterra, about path to net zero in concrete. So my faith is restored when I come to events like this and I see that specifically. And another thing it makes me think of is, concrete and cement was one of the first composite materials. Yeah. And the first kind of prefab, all the lintels and all the pieces in Rome that are still standing. Right. So there's a great argument for cement. It has its warts like every building material. So my faith is restored. I appreciate the history and the heritage of concrete. So that's what I've gotten so far.
You bring up a great point, because if you travel through Europe or any city in the country, right, concrete is mainly what's being used. Right. And with that, concrete today is being looked at very scientifically with a lot of data to bring it to the carbon neutral world. Right. The way they're doing the technology is changing, and we're seeing some of that being displayed here, and we're seeing how the use of this technology can build. We were just at the Progress Group, who we were with in Brixton.
Oh, right.
Yep. So, and even watching what they're doing has been, amazing. And I think it's really starting to get a foothold here.
Right. I mean, a lot of those really labor intensive. You don't just have embodied energy in these products in terms of how they're made, but the energy people are putting into it, and the time, embodied cost, embodied energy of the people and the labor, and that's increasing. So that when you look at iron workers and rod busting and steel, that's very labor intensive. So anything they can do to make that cohesive landscape of what they offer come together for factories, I think is huge.
Yeah. So even you mentioned a lot of stuff there, but the robotic side is huge, right? They have robotic machines that are putting together the rebar. They have robotic machines that are welding the rebar now. They even have robotic machines here that are building bridges, Tybot and some of these other things that are doing, the rebar. So if you think about the rebar and how labor intensive it is, it's heavy work, and it is a nightmare when it comes to knees and ankles. Right. If you look at a wire mesh, carpet or what have you to step on. Automating that's a big deal. Because guess what, Tim? The young people don't want to do the labor when they can make money playing Fortnite.
No,
they want to play with robots, though.
I love that you brought that up, because when you look at what they're doing back here, they're doing AR and VR. A lot of times we see that in the context of buildings,
right?
But they're doing it to show people how their machinery works in the virtual space. Sure. And it's mostly been young people over there looking at it and getting really interested. They got the goggles on and so forth. And the other thing about the prefab is these younger workers might want to go in and they're not going to get steel and oil and stuff all over them, steel and pinching their fingers and all those things. They're going to work in a clean environment, and then the company, instead of scaling back their hiring, they just expand their business.
They're doing more with less because they're bringing in the technology. Mm-hmm. So people aren't losing jobs. They're actually helping them be more efficient, healthier, safer, and at the same time probably reducing the liability of their companies as well.
Oh, huge.
With it, which
absolutely.
is great. What are you most excited about seeing at the show?
I thought I would be more excited. I haven't actually got to see much 3D printing. But seeing these big batch plants and these big, paving mixers and aggregate mixers and stuff like that, and I think a lot about what I see in the news lately about, just like we saw with trusses and component manufacturers getting rolled up over the last 5 or 10 years, I'm seeing a lot of that happening in the aggregates and cement space. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot more innovation in the machinery. Right. And one thing that I've seen on the floor here that, in fact, you can see it if you go over to the 1100 aisle. They have like a batch plant that's kind of maybe 6 or 8 feet tall. It's for display. Yeah. And then I've seen some really small ones that like maybe a classroom experience would be really good. I wish there was more of that. So I've seen that in several booths. I asked them, are these in classrooms? They said, no, they're not in classrooms. But that's a good idea. Young people might get more interested at a very young age with those sort of things. It's
funny. I have seen the smaller batch plants that could, literally it's a little bigger than a bathtub for the most part, right? And it's a tabletop type thing. I agree with you, to help bring the trades in, take it to the technical schools. Because, these big, machines, they take knowledge to run. You ever watch gold diggers with them and their machines out there, right? There's always something going on. You always have to fix them.
Exactly. And they're also very exciting. Yeah. They're very exciting to young people. Who doesn't want to get out there, young men and women, and drive these things and operate these things when they have the context of that it's a need, that they can do the job, and it's exciting.
Right. This is a big show. So I've only been in the North Hall. Have you seen any of the other halls yet?
Not yet. No, that's where I'm headed next.
Yeah, so we're going to be heading there too. We're going to keep bringing everybody content. So we should do some content this afternoon. You interested?
Yep.
Yeah, fist bump.
Just text me.
So we'll have some fun with that. We are here with the Progress, group. They sponsored us coming to today's show. If you haven't been over and checked out their technology, I highly suggest you go do it. It really is cool stuff, and you know how we are. Like, if we believe in something, I talk about it all the time. And they have been, very gracious with their time. But, man, I have not seen a technology like theirs yet anywhere else at the shows. So
from what your videos are showing, it looks like a very holistic approach. So I'm looking forward to talking with them.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, well, we're going to continue walking through a little bit here. Tim,
I'll give that back to you.
Thanks. I'll text you a little bit later. We'll see you. David Bernardino's here somewhere too. I haven't seen him, so if you run into him, let him know. Hey, Vince, let's just walk down this way a little bit. Maybe let's show some of the other machines that are here. Thanks, Tim. All right, so you have the Deuce model there with these batch plants, but I think it'll be good to show some of these concrete plants that they have set up on the table, the model plants, right? So people can understand, there's a whole setup and a whole process here that all of these companies that we're showing you, a lot of them work in collaboration with each other. And I think that's just like any other industry. It's huge. Look at this Vince Hagen machine behind us. Think about it. Somebody brought that here just for the show so people can see it. But why don't you see if we can show a little bit about this mobile mixing plant, because the mobile mixing plants are becoming a big thing, not only in our world, but in off-site construction in general. When we talk about other technologies, such as volumetric and others, we are seeing a lot more pop-up type facilities, so you can just pick it up and move when you move your project or your job, depending on where the resources is to make the concrete. So let's keep walking a little bit, Vince. We'll just go straight down this aisle here, show people a little bit more of what we have going on and who's here. And then as the time goes on here at World of Concrete, we are going to spend time showing you what's happening in the competition area, the technology area, and many others. So you can see over to the left over there, we have even an auto desk down here further. So they're here. So that means we're getting, yeah, because I can see Construct Connect back there. So this is getting into the technology area. We don't need to show it, but to the right's a lot of the registration area as well. But if you're into mixing, there's Stein back there. If you're into mixing, this is the place to be. If you're in the mixing facilities, this plant here, this showroom here in the North Hall. And again, go visit our friends at the Progress Group, North 5555. And I'll tell you what, let's walk down this aisle, Vince, and find a place out of this crowd so we can maybe showcase a couple things off the main hall, and then we'll wrap it up. As you can see, there's a lot of people here. I don't know what the total crowd size is down here, but let's go over this way because you can actually see some of the on-site pours. This is a 3D printer, actually. Look at that. This is the Max printer. It's a 3D printer, which is coming onto the market more and more every year. And we've showcased quite a few others. We've showcased Black Buffalo and so many others. I don't think I've seen geopolymer yet, but let's have. You want to talk? Yeah, I want to learn a little. Let's talk about this. This is emerging technology, and I think what's really cool about emerging technology is the sheer fact that it's fun, it's interesting, it's exciting to chat with. Hi, how are you? I'm Dave Cooper, Dave Cooper Live. Nice to meet you.
William Hoff. Nice to meet you, Dave.
All right, William. So we got 3D printers here. In my past, I've done Black Buffalo and so many others. Tell us a little bit about yours because it looks pretty mobile to me.
Well, yeah, this is a much more high technology. Yeah. We're using spider crane printers that have been hacked to make them into a 3D printer.
You are? Got it.
Actually, this is Constructions 3D. We have contracted to be their distributor here in the North American continent.
Uh-huh.
We actually flew this machine in to get it here for the World of Concrete.
Love it. So tell me a little bit about the name Geopolymer. What is the material?
Geopolymer is a material.
Yep.
It's a ceramic-based concrete.
Got it.
Has no Portland in it. It's 92% more sustainable. It's fireproof, waterproof, acid-resistant. And the nice thing is you can recycle it. You can crush it and use it again.
What's the PSI on it?
We can go. It comes out of the bag at 5,000 to 6,000.
Oh, it does.
PSI.
Yeah. Perfect. And where does it get mixed at? Any plant?
No, we do a different type of mixing since it's a different chemistry. It's more high shear, and we work with individuals depending on how much they want to mix.
Got it. So right now with the polymer and the printing machine, where are you guys working at?
We're just opened a factory in South Carolina that we're making our mix, and we have a couple of projects here in Las Vegas.
Got it. So when these machines that are going out, they self-level wherever they need to set up is what happens?
It sets up and you're ready to print in about 10 minutes.
In about 10 minutes. So, and how big of a wall can that do?
40 foot long.
Yep.
I believe it's about 30 foot tall.
Yep. And this is the brainchild of your...
This is actually Anton, if he's here.
Yeah, okay.
He's the owner of Constructions 3D, my partner with the printer.
I love it. Well, we are live, so you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Maybe Elon Musk is watching. You never know, right?
Everybody to start getting into new technology.
Not Twitter, formerly known as X, or formerly known as Twitter.
Excellent.
Perfect. How's the show been for you?
Awesome. We have had more interest than I thought we would, it's a killer show. This is about the best we've seen it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with us and our audience out there. I appreciate it. All right, thank you for setting it up over there. Vince, do you want to give me a card? If you have it, you can hand it to me. That's fine. We'll reach out to you. Thanks so much. Hey, we're filming and getting filmed. I love it. All right, Vince, let's walk down here a little bit. Hey, good luck to everything you guys are doing.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, they turned it on for us? All right, let's get a little B-roll then. That's nice of them, see? You want to?
This is actually a printing system we put together for junior colleges. It's a kit. They're able to pick this up, take it, put it together, and then start teaching the kids to be able to print with this. We actually have an Xbox game controller to run this, so anybody under 30, I guarantee, can probably run this machine.
All right, so let me get this straight. This is actually a training tool for the younger generation to be used in tech schools, concrete, masonry, technology, whatever the case is, and it's controlled by an Xbox controller.
We have an Xbox controller control this.
Can I get one of these in my studio?
Absolutely.
We'll build a studio with it, right? Very cool.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about, let's step over here inside if we can, and hold this mic up if you don't mind. I want to ask you a little bit more about educating the youth, such a big deal. Getting young people into the trades is a big deal. Talk to me about how this is helping you do that by them being able to play with your technology.
Well, basically, the whole goal of Geopolymer International is starting to try and solve problems that we have today.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we're making systems to educate the next generation to be able to take it forward. Not only do we have this educational printer, but then we do the high-tech construction printers.
Got it.
So not only we do education on materials and printers, but then we go out and we do put buildings together.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, congratulations to you, because we need more people that are thinking that way. Just had a conversation with another guy about how do we get these batch plants in the schools, these small tabletop ones, so we can educate. And I think this is a great solution for that. The printer that goes actually prints this out, though, right?
Yes. This
is the actual printer
size. You can do furniture, benches, you name it, and then when you're ready, we can go outside and start doing structure.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. So, what do you think, Vince? You like this? Excellent. Well, thanks again. I appreciate you. I'm sure we'll stop back and see you in a little bit as well. Thanks so much.
Show,
all right, Vince, let's walk down this way here. I think we'll go down and check out that RexCon mobile facility. I hope everybody that's out there watching this is enjoying it. You know, hey, here's the lasers for the job sites to the left. The I guess you spell it Leica, Leica Geosystems, which is pretty cool. Right? And here's some more of the laser technology. And let's walk out here to the right, and then we'll make a left, Vince. Showcase. We got Mint Intelligent feed happening here. Got Marcotte. And I'll take a left over here, and we'll wrap it up in front of, it looks like the waffle mat system that they have there. Excellent. All right, why don't you wrap right there? And so, all right, everybody, listen, I mean, we have been here, just today's the first day they let us in. One of the things that we're going to be doing is showcasing more of the technology that is in World of Concrete 2024. We're going to get deep into it, just like we found that 3D machine. We're going to go to the other halls. If you're not here, stay tuned. We're going to be going live outside and other places as well. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the post. I'm not going to do that live on this show, but we'll get back in and we're going to answer that. If there's anything here that you want us to show you, also let us know. And again, if you are watching this and you're at the show, head on over to North 555 and check out the Progress Group. We cannot come to these places or do anything we're doing without the help of our sponsors, and they're gracious enough not only to have us in Italy, but to bring us here as well to showcase what they're doing, because what they're doing is to the next level. And so are some of these other companies here. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching.